Hello everybody, just kind of saying hello, and a couple of people have asked me about securing my trail cameras. Now, it's not really necessary to secure them if they're in a pretty isolated area, but if you do want to secure them, the best way is probably to get one of these locks here. These they're locked by Master Lock, called a Python, and you can cinch them. So if your camera does have the apertures like this does, lugs or whatever you want to call them, brackets, you can just thread that through, lock it. I still use a strap. The strap that comes with it, that's just to, keep it secure. But that's probably the most common option. Now, obviously, it's only a deterrent. It's like using one of these cable locks on your bicycle. It's close to worthless on a bicycle, unless you're just nipping in for a coffee or something, and you can see the bike. That'll be snipped, no hassle, with a wire cutters, bolt cutters. So I put them on just as a deterrent. If somebody just is walking by and just sees them, they're not going to be able to take them. If they really want them, they'll just come back and snip them. This camera also has a room for a padlock there. That's just secures, stops anyone tampering with it or removing the SD card, which is seemingly an issue in some places. Now you can also, that's pretty much the most common way of securing one of these. You can actually get metal boxes, which I think were originally designed in the States to stop animals like bears breaking the cameras. They are more secure, but they still need to be secured to the actual tree. So you still need a lock, unless you're going to obviously set it up permanently. This camera here is not expensive. If I had a really expensive camera, I don't know personally if I could actually put one outside, but one costing hundreds of pounds, dollars, euros, whatever. These ones are basically Chinese type copies, but they're pretty good quality. You can see that the videos online, see what you think. Obviously they're kind of reduced a bit when they go onto YouTube. The quality is downgraded a bit, but these are pretty good cameras, and if they are stolen, it's not the end of the world. Now I have this, as you can see, very low to the ground. A lot of guys use these for deer. You'd normally put them up a bit higher. It's another way to secure or to reduce the chance of theft, is to put the camera way up high, and you can force it, or angle it down with if you put a bit of wood or something behind it. But and you can actually buy climbing sticks and to actually get you up the tree if the branches aren't. Hunters mainly use them, but I like to get mammals, smaller mammals, so I usually have them pretty low to the ground, or up a little bit higher, but with a stick to behind to angle it down. And we're in here in your typical Irish coniferous, planted woodland, which unfortunately has happened in a lot of Ireland, in poor land areas. We have these coniferous trees which aren't native to Ireland, and they're not particularly good for biodiversity. They don't really attract a lot of animals, and but they're a quick turnaround. They grow quickly, so they're kind of like a cash crop type deal. Our own deciduous woodland is fantastic, what's left of it, for wildlife and biodiversity. Where I do most of my filming, it's basically farmland, but it's been let grow pretty wild. So what you don't have a full deciduous forest, but you have pockets of old woodland and a lot of scrubland, and then fields, and it's actually fantastic. And there's a badger set over there. There's a lot of wildlife, and if we could do a little bit more of that in poor land areas, it would probably be better in the long run. These trees aren't even that particularly good for CO2 removal, or you know, they're just not really much good for anything than a quick cash crop. Now I understand why people need to make money, but you know, the government could probably give more grants. Like in a part of Clare there in the Burren, the government have sort of supported the farmers. They've gone back to more traditional farming, and it seems to have worked. So we probably need to look at a bit more of that. So the only reason I put the camera in here is purely out of curiosity, really, to see if anything will show up. I mean, I'm sure foxes or whatever pass through here, but it's generally not very good for wildlife. And if you Google, there's a county in Ireland called Leitrim. If you Google forestry plantations in Leitrim, you'll see how upset a lot of the people in Leitrim are, because they're basically getting surrounded by these plantations, and houses are losing natural light. And so anyway, so that's the rant of the day. But yeah, that's the way I would go with securing a trail camera, if you need to secure it. I'm going over now to the deciduous woodland that I love so much. Adios.